Hi, I'm Casey Birmingham with Foundations Decor, and today we're going to show you one of our most popular items, our shadow box kits. Can't wait to get started, so let's take a look. As with any Foundations Decor project, it's best to start with a little PDF we put together of this easy wood crafting guide that you can find linked below. These steps include just the basics, making sure you have all your supplies, adding an X to the front side of any of the wood pieces you'll use to cover with paper, and an X on the back side of the paper you will be using for the project. And then it's just the simple steps, things you want to do in order instead of, get caught down the road with the project and go, oh, I should have done X, Y, or Z. Those include like paints or stains or whatever you're going to leave unfinished, just set to the side. That gives you the chance while the paint is drying to kind of do some trimming and cutting out that's involved in most Foundations Decor projects. So that's what we're going to do. We have provided this in a link below, so feel free to look at that to make sure you don't forget any of the basic things as you start your project. So now that we've looked at our easy wood crafting guide and got all our ducks in a row, this is the actual project we're going to do. Merry Christmas Shadow Box Kit. So all you need to start is our blank shadow box. What's really cool and unique about these is they're magnetized, okay? They come in black. We also have a white version, but this is all you need to get started, because what I just showed you as far as the Merry Christmas project, can actually be any project that's seasonal or fits your needs for your home. So you see how they remove, right? Pretty simple. We even brought Thanksgiving to show you exactly what I mean in our black shadow box kit. So the shadow box kit stays the same, so you don't have to rebuy that every month. You just need to fill it with different inserts for each season. This is our Thanksgiving one that you'll find at this specific kit exclusively at Scrapbook.com. And those interchange pretty easily for each season or your birthdays or whatever you want to make. So let's get started on making our Christmas kit. We're going to start by adding the X's as we kind of looked through our easy wood crafting guide. What's cool is the kit comes, it's going to have pop dots holding everything into place. That's for safety reasons and just because it makes it easier so you can see the general layout as you start your kit. What's also nice about that is it shows you everything right side up. So the X's come easy on this one. Just X everything on this side with a pencil. Always use a pencil in case you want to paint something or if you're doing paint and use a bunch of pens, sometimes the paint won't cover it. So be careful with that. We're just going to quickly X everything that is face up on this side. Okay. When you're done with that, that's when the fun starts. We get to start tracing. Now that we've got that done, let's get to tracing. We pull these off, and this is where I get to start showing you some of the fun tools that we use at Foundations Decor. Okay. Because we learned, probably the hard way as we got started, that to really finish these things off, you need a little bit of help. One of our favorite things we use of all is our large paper file. So now we have our large paper file, right? And I hope you can see that there's some residue left from the little pop dots that were holding everything into place, keeping it from being damaged. All you do is you take your large paper file and you just kind of nudge it off, right? So that initially takes off that, and then you just scuff it. And I won't do all of these sitting here on camera because no one wants to watch a video full of 15 minutes of sanding. So anyway, you'll notice that it starts taking those off. And then you just go through the pieces. One piece you don't want to remove right away is the Merry Christmas, because we're going to show you what we're going to do with that when we get to the actual painting or inking portion, depending on your preference. And again, make this kit your own. We have the paper included in this kit, exclusive at Scrapbook.com. But that doesn't mean if you don't like a different paper and you want to put it somewhere, or I would rather use green paints. I mean, makes these kits your own. What's crafting if we're not really making it our own, right? A famous philosopher, Todd Henry, once said that creativity is simply the ability to engage in any given moment. So you don't have to necessarily engage with my moment. You can make it your own. So now that we've cleaned everything up and we've made our X's, we've cleaned off the pop dots, we can get to work doing the fun parts, and that's tracing. Here we go. So I like to break it down one piece at a time, okay? So we're going to start with the bottom left square. That's the one I'm going to show you how we're going to just trace and get it ready. Now, you'll notice in this kit, we've painted the truck wheel wells, so you can paint them I think the main reason we did that is they're a little bit smaller and not as easy to work with paper. So a lot of times it's easier to just paint or ink those. We'll show you that in a second. So now we've got an X on the paper, an X on our truck. We know those sides are going to match up, so we put them there. We like to conserve paper, so we just find the best spot to fit it, as long as you can see that there. And then we just trace. This is a tale as old as time. We've been doing this since kindergarten, right? So we're just going to trace real quickly there. We do the same thing with the tree. Pull this into frame here. You got your X and your X. And again, on this one, you're going to want to save some space because this comes pre-cut in this kit. So you'll want to make sure that you conserve as much space because you'll notice it's also used this paper again on a few other pieces. Now that those are done, before you cut, the smart thing, we wanted to trace first in case we have inked or painted anything. We don't want it to sully the rest of the paper. So now that, let's say we've got everything traced, we can get to painting or inking. We've got this awesome Cardinal red from Scrapbook.com ink pad, a little dauber pad. This is one way to handle it. You just daub that, and you're all familiar with these. Everybody's used this, but and you can leave the Merry Christmas right on that title card, right on that title backer, because it'll hold it into place for you. And we're not worried so much about getting ink here because it's going to get covered with paper, so we don't need to worry much about that. So we're going to go ahead. You notice you can be a little bit liberal with it so it gets on there pretty well. Oh, look at that beautiful red. That's a great red if you get enough on there. And again, another option is to paint. One small thing that we want to point out when doing this kit is these MDF pieces of wood have different dimensions. Not only does that add to the dimension of the kit, it just it looks cooler, honestly. So, but one thing we like to do with those is the thicker pieces. You'll notice they don't have that dark laser cut edge. We like to sometimes just either paint or ink the edges so that when you are displaying your project, it doesn't look like there was something left out. We're just bringing that up. It's not necessary to finish the project, but we wanted to bring it up just in case you're wondering, why doesn't mine look exactly like that? So all you want to do is just, again, we're just going to start dabbing. You could easily, instead of even just using that, these are pretty flat edges, you can even just take the pad and decorate it like that, so that in the end, once you've covered this side with paper, it doesn't look like there's a gap somewhere in between. Now that we have everything traced, all we got to do is cut it out. Like I said, this is what we learned in kindergarten. Now, when you're cutting it out, you don't need to be like a perfect trimmer, right? Just get the general outline done, because I'm going to show you a cool trick when we get there to sticking these to the wood. So just make sure you get it cut out. So as you're cutting, make sure you cut outside of the line you created. What that'll do is that'll avoid missing any coverage on the wood. You don't want to do that, because then you got to recut it and do all this. And really, we're just jonesing to get that beautiful piece on the wall, right? Or on your desk. You can put it wherever you want. So now that we have that cut out, what we want to do, and you can feel free to just cut everything all at once and then go back and do it. If you're really particular about how you do things, just cut one at a time and get them gluing right away so that they can be drying as you're cutting your other pieces. So we've taken our truck piece now that we've finished painting the edges, since it was one of the thicker MDF pieces. And now we just want to glue it to here. In this case, we're going to use this Mono Aqua from Tombow adhesive. And what we're going to do in this case, because we want it to get full coverage, so I'm going to just dab a lot on the side of the wood. Now you can either use your finger, or if you're a clean freak like some people, just pull out the brush that you'd used to do some of the painting if you painted and chose not to ink. And just kind of paint it on there so you get full coverage. What that's also going to do is smooth out, make sure you don't have any bubbles or weird raises in your paper. So now let's just attach that. You'll notice it's not perfectly clean yet, but when it is, watch out. Okay, now that we've got everything glued down and ready to roll, we're going to show you what's my personal favorite part of the whole thing, and that's sanding the edges of the paper. It's something strangely satisfying to me, so I love to do that. So sticking with the same box, just again, choose one box of the shadow box at a time, and that way, you can zero it in, set it to the side, do the next one. It's easier and a little bit cleaner that way. So what you do is you want to get back out our large paper file. Remember, it helped us clean off the pop dots. And now we're going to sand it. Here's a quick tip to sanding these edges. This is why we didn't need to make all the edges perfectly clean cut. This is what's going to clean it up and give it a little bit of more of a distressed look. So what we're going to do now is set it to the edge of this table. Hopefully you can follow along with me here, because what this does is it just stabilizes it when you cut, because when you're doing this part, you want to use very firm strokes and pull down fairly hard. I mean, it doesn't need to be, you don't need to worry about it. And you'll see what happens is it just starts to cut that edge, as you can tell. I'll show this side too. Okay. It just starts to cut that edge right off of the just the extra paper, cuts it right off. So what do we do? I mean, it's really easy to sand straight edges, right? So what are we going to do with the, when you get these little pieces and we're getting into the nitty gritties? Again, we're going back to our little piece of the truck that we've already put paper on. A couple of things I want to show you here. Again, an edge would help, and you probably want to start with the big file here. And again, just start cleaning off those edges that are exposed. The problem is that big file won't get into this spot, okay? So there's a couple of options. We've got our smaller file, which again, now that it's a little bit bigger, the truck is still a little bit bigger than some of the smallest pieces. That can clean off that edge real nice, okay? But what happens when we get a real little piece, right? It's got a few straight edges that we can kind of scuff right down, right? Just being firm with it. But now we've got so many small, I'll show you up here, there's so many small little crevices. That's where these guys come in. This is our Foundations Decor precision needle files. It's got 3 different pieces, so it's got all different shapes and sizes for what you need to dig in there. This is a feather file. This one's really good for, you can't tell, but it's got a really thin edge there, and it's good for those really tiny corners. There's also 2 sizes of rounded files, okay? And again, you'll see where you need to use each one. Perfect instance, the candy cane or something, it's going to have a rounded edge. You'd want to use this. Some of them have corner edges that you're going to want to use the feather files on. So that's what those are for. And I'll show you right now 2 different things. First, on this tree, again, this has a lot of little corners. We want to get our feather file out and just really gently start pulling away that paper. And again, you're going to see that satisfying feeling when that edge comes falling off. That's one of my favorite things in all of our Foundations Decor wood crafting. Again, just my OCD coming in. See, it just starts to flake away, just falls away. There's one thing I want to point out. You notice that our truck doesn't have a window here. Well, that's because we haven't given him one yet. The back side, you can see it's open. The front side, it's not. So all you got to do is we just poke through that, right, with our feather file, or you can really use any of the files for that. And then we just start digging away at it. You always want to move away from the paper. You don't want to come to the back side, because then it might pull it off of the wood. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep it going down away from the paper. Then we can use a bigger one now that we've got it opened up and really just start cleaning it up. Once you've got all your sanding done and you've taken the time to clean off all your edges, the next step is going to be a little bit up to you. You're going to want to beautify it in whatever way you want. That could be with inks, or maybe you like that real scuffed, distressed look. You're welcome to do that as well. All you've got to do is choose the way you want it to look. In our case, on our last project we did, we like to give it a little bit of a brown coat, or a little brown inked edge. And this is the time to do that once you've got everything sanded down in the way you want it to look. So you would just obviously take your, and this is familiar to any of you that have crafted. You're welcome to use the daubers. We still have those as an option. You could just daub it, and that's if you really want to decorate it up and get it all messy. Or if you just want a slight edge, yeah, you just grab your ink and you give it that slight edge. Okay, now that we've got that, the fun of just seeing a final result start to come together. Again, we're going to pull back out our Tombow liquid glue and just start sticking it down. So you just need to get a good, healthy amount on there, keeping it more towards the middle. We don't want it to seep out. Center it as best you can, or honestly, you can put it down at the bottom or whatever, make it look like it's driving on the road or whatever. I don't care how you do it. In our case, we just centered it, so we're just going to do that. And that'll take a second to dry, but that doesn't mean we can't move on to the next piece. That's now the tree. It's going to look like he's carrying a Christmas tree home to the kids, so we'll see. Notice how that's all come together, and once it's dry, you've got a full panel ready to rock and roll with in your shadow box kit. And that's when we'd move to the next one. The last thing to do before completing this project is magnetize it. We already showed you that we have that magnetized shadow box frame, but now let's see how that actually works. Inside this kit comes these 3M magnets. So for these 3M magnets, all you want to do is they're self-adhesive, so you just peel it off, simple as pie, toss that in the garbage, take our piece we've just finished, and we did decorate it however we wanted, roll it over, and you stick that baby right on there, right in the middle. And you'll just need 1 magnet per piece, with exception sometimes with these title cards, okay? It's safest to just drop 2, 1 on each side. You'll have enough to put 2 on this that comes with the kit. There's also availabilities to just buy these blank to customize them yourself, and in which case we do sell magnets individually as well on Scrapbook.com, so you can find those with a simple search for magnets. So now the fun part. We take our pieces, and you notice we've already finished these here, the other 4 slats in the shadow box. And so now we just slip them in. Merry Christmas, right? We want to give a special thank you to our friends at Simple Stories who supplied the paper for this kit. They've got fantastic papers, as probably many of you already know, even better than we do. But we did want to send a shout out to them for supplying the paper for this kit and always being so easy to work with for us. And this is our Christmas shadow box kit. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happy crafting!